Happy Tuesday to you. It is a special day here on Virginia this morning. We are excited to help our friends Broadway in Richmond celebrate the 2024-2025 season. I'm Amy Lacey.
And I'm Andrea Swight-Murdaugh. The River City is home to some fun things to do and see, including having a replica of the Great White Way, New York's theater district, right here in Richmond. Today, we'll share an overview, and we've invited some special guests to help us with this themed show. So let's get started.
Of course, our dear friend of the show, Cindy Creasy, Media and Public Relations Community Engagement Representative for Broadway in Richmond, is here. She will talk about the illustrious musical lineup Richmonders will enjoy. That conversation is coming up in less than 10 minutes.
And Shucked makes its way onto the Altria Theater stage October 29th, and we wanted to get poppin' in some segments. Award-winning entrepreneur Rabia Kamara is the chef and proud owner of Ruby Scoops. She's going to scoop out some hot honey cornbread and caramel corn ice cream for us.
Yum. And Richmond has a chance to enjoy the musical Moulin Rouge beginning March 4th, and we wanted to bring a taste of France to the Virginia This Morning kitchen. Executive Chef Brian Brown from Can in Carytown is here with their signature bouillabaisse, a traditional fish soup. We can't wait to get our spoons ready for that segment.
Indeed, I cannot wait. And we have so much more to share, but you have to stay tuned. We have to take a quick commercial break and hope to see you in 60 seconds.
Happy Tuesday and good morning to you for this special edition of Virginia This Morning. We have a great opportunity on this show to showcase amazing things that are happening in and around our community. Today we are celebrating Broadway in Richmond's 2024-2025 season. I'm Amy Lacey.
And I'm Andrea Swight-Murdaugh, and here's a look ahead to a few of today's features.
Moulin Rouge is one of the award-winning musicals that is part of Broadway in Richmond's 2025 lineup. Executive Chef Brian Brown from Can in Carytown is here to make a traditional French-inspired bouillabaisse. I'm ready for that.
Yes, we are. And Shucked is also on the Broadway in Richmond docket that opens next month. And also in the kitchen is popular ice cream shop owner Rabia Kamara. We'll enjoy her corn-inspired ice cream, and we can't wait for this Ruby Scoops presentation.
Our first guest, though, this morning is the Media and Public Relations Community Engagement Representative from Broadway in Richmond.
And we are delighted to have Cindy Creasy back to talk about a few highlights from their much-anticipated 2024-2025 season. It's so great to see you.
Thank you. What a wonderful open. I feel like I'm in New York.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So much fun this morning.
Yeah.
So much fun. And we have been anticipating this season for quite some time, and you have quite the lineup.
We really do. I mean, it is probably one of our most power-packed Broadway seasons in the sense that we are getting so many of these tours early in their national tour, which really says that Richmond has arrived in the Broadway community. Yeah.
Yes.
And many of the shows, this is the first time they've ever been in Richmond, so a lot of debuts this season.
A lot of premieres this season, which we're thrilled about. As a matter of fact, I think the only one we have returning is Mamma Mia and Chicago is an add-on, and the rest are premieres. So we're very excited, and we kick off with Shucked, which is one of the Richmond is one of its first stops on its whole national tour. So we're very excited about that.
Yes, and we know that in addition to that, you've got a few others, the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, so the Book of Mormon is what we call an add-on. So we have usually a 6-show subscription package that's available and starts as low as $2.95. But sometimes we'll have some other shows that are routing and touring through the area, and we're able to bring them in, and we call those add-ons. And the Book of Mormon is one, and it's coming October 18th. And then Chicago will be one, and that's in May.
We, of course, want everyone who is coming out to the shows to have just a great time.
Absolutely.
What are some things that they can do to make sure that the night is memorable for them and their family members?
Well, we always try to encourage people to get there early because you really want to get there about 45 minutes before showtime, because that way you can get maybe a little glass of wine, maybe a little, something to snack on. But also you get in your seat, because certain shows, if you're not in your seat by curtain time, you will have a hold, and you do not want to be you know, standing out in the lobby waiting 15 minutes to get in to see the show you've been dying to see just because you didn't leave and get to Altria on time.
Spend some time getting there early.
Yes, and there are great restaurants around, so make a night of it. And also we encourage car service because, you know, traffic is going to be a challenge around there and parking is limited. You know, we are lucky VCU lets us use that parking deck and we're very appreciative of that, but there's only but so many cars it can handle.
Well, and what we know is that there are some benefits for subscribers and subscriptions are still available.
Yes, they are. They're still available. And some of those wonderful benefits include getting access to tickets on sale before the public does, also renewing your seat and possibly even moving your seat to a better seat the next season, and some parking, you know, ability to purchase tickets, parking ticket ahead of time. So there are a lot of benefits to being a subscriber.
There are some individual tickets for some of the shows already available too.
Yes, so right now on sale we have the Book of Mormon, we have Shucked on sale, and Mamma Mia on sale. And soon we'll have MJ the Musical, which I just saw in DC, and I have to tell you, one of the best things I've ever seen.
Coming up in the show, we have a little sneak peek of
Yes, I
that
know.
too.
We sent you up there.
It was so special.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's right, and there are so many benefits to being part of the Broadway in Richmond subscribers and then also being a guest as well. You mentioned some of the add-ons, Chicago and Book of Mormon.
We do, and then you never know, we may even get some additional ones. And Nederlander National Markets, who is really the presenter for Broadway in Richmond, also brings in other shows. And so, you know, we enjoy that too. We just had the Avatar with the symphony. We're going to have Cirque Holiday Dreams. So, you know, there are other add-on shows, and when you're one of those Broadway subscribers, you get to purchase tickets before they go on sale to the public. But then we have Mamma Mia coming in December, and that is a true fan favorite, so we're very excited about that.
I've been to it quite a few times. People are always standing up, they're singing
Yes,
along, they're just, the party is
exactly.
right there
Yeah.
in the theater.
One tip we say is please don't sing along until they invite you to sing along.
You've got to hold back the best you can in your seat,
And
especially
then
when you
say,
know.
Okay, everybody, then it's okay.
There you go. Tips for
Right.
pros,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Make sure that you wait your turn.
Absolutely, that's correct.
Well, Cindy, we are looking so forward to this season, and just today
you.
having an opportunity to preview it is just, it's really a dream come true. We're having a great morning here on Virginia.
Thank you. I can't wait, and we really do appreciate y'all being our media sponsor. You guys are a great partner, and we're very appreciative of that. And, you know, we do want to say one quick tip, and that is always sign up for emails for Broadway in Richmond and also Altria Theater, because that's how you get notice about a lot of shows going on sale. So that's one of the simplest things you can do to kind of find out what's happening in our wonderful Altria Theater.
Oh, yes, I get those emails, and they are so handy.
They're very helpful.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing such a fantastic season to
I'm
Richmond.
so excited. Thank you.
Along with the Broadway in Richmond 2024-2025 season lineup, Broadway in Richmond Altria Theater and the City of Richmond Parks and Rec Department, they're hosting the corniest fall festival ever on Saturday, October 5th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Monroe Park.
And don't forget, you still have time to submit your favorite cornbread recipe for your chance to be featured right here on our live show. All you have to do is go to wtvr.com/contests. The winner will be announced on Virginia This Morning next Wednesday, September 25th, and that winner will receive 4 tickets to see Shucked next month.
Thank you so much for coming in, Cindy. We always love to have you. And for more information, the 2024-2025 Broadway in Richmond season, all shows will be at the Altria Theater, which is located at 6 North Laurel Street in Richmond. For more information, visit BroadwayInRichmond.com and find them on social media too.
The global smash hit musical Mamma Mia comes to the Altria Theater stage in December. Tickets are on sale right now for this 25th anniversary tour.
Recently, our Evan Armour spoke with actor Grant Reynolds, who plays Sky. Here's their conversation.
Good morning, Grant. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are excited for you. We're excited for this show. First, tell us a little bit about your character and about the show.
Oh gosh, well, Mamma Mia is such a whirlwind. It's kind of just this mother-daughter, I should say unconventional family dynamic that's set to the like amazing backdrop of these ABBA hits. It's really all about a girl in search of her dad for her big day, her wedding day, and kind of figuring out the triumphs that come along with that along the way. I play Sky, who is her fiance, very unassuming, very unaware of a lot of the things that are going on, but kind of acts as like a pillar of strength throughout the whole story. And I mean, it's just such a good time, even if you're not familiar with the narrative. The songs, the costumes, the energy alone is enough to just have a full blast party. So it's so much fun every night.
Yeah, what has your experience been like so far? I'm sure it's super exciting.
It's such a blessing. You know, I feel so honored to be on this journey, to be able to tell this story for the 25th anniversary, to be around this team, to be singing these songs. I mean, we've all heard an ABBA song. I know that I grew up with that music in my house. So, you know, to be able to dance Dancing Queen, Chiquitita, even the song that I sing, Lay All Your Love, it's so surreal to me. And then on top of that, you know, we really are telling this phenomenal story that is about family, love, what your family looks like. And, you know, like I talked about before, there's so much energy to this show, and it's so specific. It's such a concert, like no pun intended, like there is a little built-in concert. But, you know, that energy alone that we get from the audience, even when I'm like headed to the theater and I'm seeing people, you know, come in overalls and floral and beautiful hair, they're just dressed for the moment. That just brings me and propels me so much more forward, and the rest of our cast. So it's such a good time every single day, and it really does mean so much to be a part of this legacy.
Well, I imagine this is a great show for someone to come to, whether they go and they love seeing Broadway shows, or maybe in Richmond, this is going to be the first one that they go to.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, we as a cast kind of hold that mindset daily that, you know, because doing this show every single day, you know, it can be monotonous as is doing anything, you know, rigorously daily. I always tell myself that this is somebody's first experience with theater. I always tell myself this is someone's first experience, you know, with Mamma Mia. So I'm super excited to bring this to Richmond. I think that we're lucky that we have such a universal story. It's great for everybody. So not only are, you know, moms and daughters going to love it, sons are going to love it, aunts, uncles, grandpas, grandmas, everybody. It's so universal in that, right? And so I'm really excited to get to Richmond and bring the show.
You mentioned it being universal. What do you think it is that has just resonated with people for decades now and literally across the world?
You know, I think that Mamma Mia, it can be seen as kind of like a whirlwind of things that are going on, you know, at the core, but I think it's really relatable. You know, these are about relationships, whether you're talking about Donna and Sophie, a mother and daughter dynamic, or you're talking about me playing Sky and Sophie, which is a romantic relationship. You know, there's always that core of truth. There's always that core of at least within our show, of, you know, communication and how it can be hard to communicate, how it can be hard to express feelings after years. It can be hard to talk to your parents about something, your significant other. So I think that those like real life anecdotes that are kind of sprinkled throughout the show really kind of are appealing to the everyday audience because they're true. You know, I see many things in the show daily where I'm like, oh yeah, this is very relatable to, you know, what I deal with or what I have dealt with before in my past. So I think it's that factor that can really make it relatable to audiences.
Well, you have 8 performances coming up in Richmond. We are so excited to have you, and we thank you for your time this morning. You've been great.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to come.
Mamma Mia opens at the Altria Theater on December 10th and runs through December 15th.
And stay with us. Virginia This Morning's Broadway in Richmond special returns after a quick break.
Today, we're having some fun previewing a few highlights and talk about the 2024-2025 Broadway and Richmond season.
Moulin Rouge is synonymous with the energetic style of dancing known as the French can-can, and we wanted to take your taste buds on a Parisian trip. So we invited Executive Chef Brian Brown from Can-Can in Carytown. His delicious bouillabaisse is on today's menu. Shall I say bonjour today?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, everybody.
You have it starting to cook here. What's going on here on the stove? It
All
looks fabulous and smells even better.
We're starting with the base here. The basic, the garlic, the shallots. We have a little saffron in there as well. I'm starting to get my clams.
I was going to say, they've started to open
They
up.
started to open up. That's key right there. The bouillabaisse, classically, it's all about layers. You're building layers the whole time. So your garlic shallots, that's your base flavors. Your saffron's going in as well. I already have my clams starting to pop. Next stage, will be dropping in the fish.
Now, when you're cooking clams, how long do you want to cook them before they pop open?
They'll pop open for you probably about 3-4 minutes, depending on how hot your heat is. The beauty of it is that you know they're done once they pop. So there's no guessing here.
And you said this is a traditional stew,
Yep.
fisherman's stew there in France.
Yep, in Provençal region, it's very, very popular. The beauty of it is that there's multiple versions, but they all have the same base.
Yeah.
Everything starts the same, but you can put any twist you want on it, and it'll still be a beautiful bouillabaisse.
Now, how did you decide, with all of the different twists, how did you decide which version you were going to focus on?
This is a version that we've been doing for years there. When I first started there, this was the version I was taught by the chef there, and I've always kept this version going. Every restaurant I've gone at, and I've featured this. I've always done it this way.
It's your specialty.
I would say it is, yeah.
Well, it looks fabulous.
Awesome.
What are the next steps that we have?
All right, I can see my fish starting to cook. Next thing I'm gonna do is add some tomatoes in there. The tomatoes are gonna give it a nice base of that as well. We want some freshness in there. I've already added some white wine. I'm gonna add a little bit more, get some flavor in there. And this right here is called Nage. This is a white wine fortified stock. Yes, we make this daily at Can-Can. It helps build a nice base flavor. It's already reduced down wine, so it gives you that taste that you want without having all that reduction have to happen. Yeah, yeah. Next thing I could see, once I get that temperature up and it starts to boil again, I'm gonna drop in my calamari.
Okay.
I have both tubes and tentacles going in. Love the flavor this gives that broth as well.
Now, it seems like you have it down to a science now. You know what will take longest to cook, and then you kind of layer it like that.
Absolutely. Takes years of training to learn that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things, you know, obviously you drop the calamari in too early, you got rubber bands, it's gonna
Yeah.
be tough. Yeah.
Practice makes perfect,
Absolutely.
like everything else.
And you were talking a little bit about the layering process, how important it is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it sounds like timing is a key piece of that, too.
Huge part of it, yeah. You got to make sure you time it. Obviously, you want all your seafood to be all cooked perfectly. A tough challenge, but obviously, if you do it enough, you start to get it, and the guest loves it.
Fabulous.
Now, the technique you have here with your pans atop each other, is
Yep.
that, could you use other steaming mechanisms, or is this scenario the perfect?
Again, this is how I was taught. This is how it was always done. I'm sure in France they're doing it this way as well. It's capping.
There you go.
It looks very cool, too.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Next in,
An
I already know.
expert trick,
Exactly.
for sure.
You can smell it right now. That saffron's blooming in there, getting all that flavor. Dropping in my mussels,
Beautiful.
which we know, yeah.
Adds gorgeous color there.
Yes, it does. And I know the shrimp is going to cook about the same time the mussels do, so I'm going to drop those in as well. Continue to cap. Always got to have salt and pepper.
So as you're continuing to prepare this, what else is going on at Can-Can right now that our community might want to know about?
Oh, we have tons of stuff going
Yeah?
on right now. Yep, we just had the resurgence of the coffee house coming back very soon. I love that. People used to enjoy coming to Can-Can, having a cup of coffee, sitting in the window, newspapers out.
I've been one of those
Yep.
people. It's beautiful. It is like being at a Parisian cafe.
Yeah, we aim for that, and that's the image and what it's created to do. It's supposed to transport you to France. And I think it does a pretty good job. Even the lighting, everything down to the tea, the booths, everything.
The baguettes.
It's
Yes.
the perfect place to come where you can step out of Richmond just for a moment into France and then come right on back.
Yes, I would agree with that.
No plane needed.
No plane needed.
and no jet lag.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the beauty.
Now, you have some other signature dishes at Can-Can.
We do. We have a ton of dishes there. We do a duck l'orange. We have all the classics that you would see in France. Also there, beef bourguignon with our veal stock that has been going for 19 years straight. It's a beautiful thing. It's part of the magic that it creates at Can-Can, and we keep that going. And daily, we take care of that stock. We baby it. So I could see my mussels are starting to pop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
just
add
like
this.
that.
This is one of those things that we have at Can-Can that's kind of magical. This is our bouillabaisse broth. This is made with fennel and orange peels, tomatoes, saffron.
Now, orange peel.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So you're really crafting the flavor in a special way.
Exactly. What we're looking for here is we want to have the essence of the orange, not too much orange flavor. Obviously, you hear the word orange, you're thinking it's going to be juicy, but really what it's doing is it's going off that white wine and it's blending with that seafood to give you that nice flavor profile that you're looking for.
That in itself, I could imagine dipping some baguette in there.
Oh, yeah.
Just making the
That's
meal
what
right
this
out of
dish
that.
is for. Exactly.
Delicious.
It's all about the dip.
You had quite the texture to your bouillabaisse there, but as you mixed it together, I don't know if everyone caught that, it mixed in with those juices you had going, and it made it a little bit lighter.
It does, yeah. So when the mussels and clams open up, they release their liquor. Their natural juices go into the broth also, fortifying that even further. That's the beauty of the layer part of this. We want to make sure that it's full of seafood flavor. That's the whole idea here. As I can see here, I'm starting to get some shrimp cooked there.
Those fishermen in France are eating very well.
They are,
they are.
yes. You know, that's one of the cool parts about this too, is like this wouldn't be considered fancy in France. This would be considered like, you know, staple food. You might eat this every day.
Now, what is this, butter?
Oh, of course. No French recipe goes without butter. And I'm gonna add some of the herbs to this. This is a little bit of parsley. Obviously, fresh herbs are a great addition to any cooked dish.
Now, when we think about the butter, is that adding in cream to it?
Yes. So it's going to give it a nice creamy presence at the end, and it's going to balance out all the acid from the white wine and everything else I've added, like the nage and such. So we're just going to let that keep going. Probably about another minute or so. We'll be ready to plate.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous already.
Oh,
And
thank
just
you.
what a wonderful presentation to have. I could imagine just sitting around an island and watching someone do this cooking and making that presentation. It just really, it just brings everybody together. What a beautiful dish.
I would agree with that. And the beauty is this is a great sharing dish. You know, if you're sitting down at Can enjoying a glass of wine with whoever you're with, this is one of those dishes. You're peeling off a piece of bread and you're dipping it and you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
The bread is almost the best part.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, the can bread especially. I mean, I love the bread there. I think it's one of the best things that we showcase and do. And it's very, very French. Not a lot of restaurants in the city are doing what we're doing with our bread program.
I see that creaminess coming in. Everything's opened up so beautifully.
I think we're there.
All right, I think it's time.
A little bit more herbs, because I like a lot of herbs. Like I said, you always want to finish with something fresh. All that butter in there, obviously that's going to be giving that creamy flavor, but the herbs are really what are going to make it pop. As you can see, everything is open, everything is cooked. My shrimp are looking perfect.
And there we go. We're plating it.
We are plating it up with a beautiful sauce. Oh,
It is
This is a splasher, yeah.
that's right. Well, as he's plating, here is the lineup of Broadway in Richmond's 2024-2025 season. Tickets are now on sale for Shucked. That's on stage October 29th through November 3rd. You can get your tickets for the smash hit musical Mamma Mia for when it opens on December 10th through the 15th.
The fun continues in 2025 with a terrific lineup, including MJ the Musical as it moonwalks on the stage January 28th through February 2nd. Moulin Rouge is scheduled for March 4th through the 16th. The Neil Diamond Musical, A Beautiful Noise, takes center stage April 15th through the 20th. The curtain rises for the popular Broadway hit Chicago on stage May 9th through the 11th. And then to round out the 2025 season, Some Like It Hot, that is June 3rd through the 8th.
Our live special theme show returns in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back. You'll have a chance to enter a world of glitz, glamour, and eye-popping excess when Moulin Rouge hits the stage at the Altria Theater from April 15th through the 20th. We invited local burlesque performers Poppy LaFay and Jory Tiger Lily. They will be talking about burlesque costuming. We welcome them to our live show. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Just beautiful, the costumes, the feathers, it's just gorgeous. There is such a local scene here for burlesque. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, there's a rich history that Jory can speak more to of how long Richmond has been part of the burlesque world. But there's a pretty robust, maybe 10 producers locally who produce their own shows and cast local performers, and we're out here having fun.
Yes. Jory, why did Richmond decide to take burlesque and run with it?
Well, burlesque has existed for a very long time. Of course, it originated in Europe and came here in the early 1900s. And the resurgence of burlesque started here in Richmond about 20 years ago. So there have been burlesque performers being born every day in Richmond for the past 20 years and becoming producers and performing and creating costumes and sharing the legacy in several different venues all over the city.
The costuming is so special. It really helps to tell the story, the art of the tease,
Yes.
if you will. Talk to us about this and how something like this helps to tell the story.
Well, this costume is very special to me. I handmade this costume. It is my version of Josephine Baker's banana dance costume. Her bananas were a little more stiff and rigid, but beautiful and moved very well when she danced. I wanted mine a little bit more bouncy, so I made them out of plushies. But this really speaks to the legacy of burlesque. Josephine Baker was from St. Louis and moved to Paris to pursue her career as a dancer, and she's what we refer to as one of our burlesque legends. So it's really important to continue the legacy and the history of her work and the incredible costuming that she wore as well. This is the one that she's most famous for, but there are some incredible costumes that she was given to wear throughout her career as a performer.
And I have to say, Poppy, this is everything.
Yes.
Look at this. My goodness. Talk to us a little bit about this and how this would be used during a performance.
Sure. So this is a boa that's actually made by Queen Kwan, a burlesque producer or performer out of St. Louis?
Out of New Orleans.
New Orleans, my bad. And they make these like giant floofy boas that are very fun to tell a story. And like one of the things that burlesque, of course, is the art of the tease, is like showing people what it's like to luxuriate in like a reveal. So this added layer does that, and then it moves with the fringe on my costume that I handmade. Thank you.
Yes.
And so it like all tells a story together.
And really, though, that's that art of the reveal. It's very sensual. It is something that it's seduction, but leaves you with a little bit of wanting more, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
A little entice, a little mystery, a little intrigue, just something to get the people excited as they come to enjoy the experience.
If some of our viewers had not been to a burlesque performance before, what can they expect if they come? I'm sure it's different every single time.
So much.
So much different every single time. They can expect to have fun. They can expect to potentially lose their voice because they will be screaming in excitement the entire time.
Hooting, hollering.
Hooting and hollering. They can expect to see all different body types and genders and ages and races. Burlesque is very diverse.
And abilities.
And abilities, yes. Diverse in every aspect of the word.
And inclusive as well.
Yeah, I think that that's especially a part of the Richmond scene in the past few years has been really pushing for a more inclusive, a more friendly, a more togetherness, more community focus of like making sure that we see represented who we actually are.
Well, I love that you said a little bit earlier, maybe it was off camera, but that everyone's welcome.
Yes.
And that if it's something that you want to try, if this is an art form that you would like to explore, go for it.
Please do.
Yes, we have classes. I am a teacher of classes. Poppy is a teacher of classes. There is a hub where people can find more information, RVA Burlesque. It's a website, it's a newsletter, it's an Instagram account, it's a Facebook account. All of the information that you need to find out where you can see burlesque, where you can participate in burlesque can be found at that site.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking with both of you today. This is just a little tease, if you will, of the burlesque scene in Richmond, but we will send some folks your way if they are more interested in coming out and seeing it for themselves.
Yes, definitely. Can we say one more thing before we go?
Please do.
There is an incredible show happening this weekend at Gallery 5. It is called Afro Tease, and this year it is a weekender. It's usually just a one-night engagement, but this year it is 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. Several incredible performers from all across Richmond and from all across the nation. We have some traveling performers coming in for this show as well. So grab your tickets if you can make it out and have your first burlesque experience.
Well, this is wonderful. Thank you both so much for coming in, and these are just beautiful, beautiful costumes.
Thank you.
Moulin Rouge, the musical, is part of the Broadway in Richmond series. Be sure to check it out March 4th through the 16th. And stay with us because Virginia This Morning returns after the break.
Welcome back to our Broadway and Richmond special themed Tuesday morning show. Michael Jackson's 1982 Thriller album is listed as the best-selling album of all time. MJ the musical will glide on stage in the new year. And recently, Amy traveled to Washington, D.C. and talked with the star of the show. Check it out.
This segment is sponsored by Broadway in Richmond.
So originally, I was cast in 2022, about 1 or 2 weeks after the Tonys, and I was originally a standby for Middle Michael and MJ. I did that for about a year, and then last year, I was the alternate on tour, so I did 2 shows a week, only as MJ, and 6 weeks ago, from this week, I took over full-time as MJ, leading the company. You know, sometimes the clothes just do it for you. Like for instance, like this jacket right here, this is the Act 1 jacket. We walk out in this jacket. You can feel the weight of it once you put it on, but when you put it on, it's kind of like an armor. Like, you know, armor when you're getting ready for battle. Or for instance, the glove, you know, putting on the glove, you know, you can feel the weight. Actually, like when I put it on, I feel like it has a little bit of weight to it, and you know, I just already right now I'm already ready to just kind of just jump into to my MJ moves and stuff. But you can feel the essence, you feel his spirit kind of with all of the clothes. And I mean, honestly, who doesn't know any of the, you know, at least one of these iconic looks, you know? So it kind of does the work for you in a way once you put the clothes on. For me, it's really just practicing. I watch a lot of footage, and I also grew up a fan of his, and my biggest thing with playing this role is ensuring that I portray him as authentically as possible for all the fans that are coming to see the show, but also for myself and for him, because his legacy is in our hands for about 2.5 hours, you know, whatever the actual duration of the show is. But I mean, even with my shoes, I got these 3 or 4, these are new, and I got these 3 or 4 months ago, but you can already see like the scuffs of the toe stands, all the creases from the glides and everything, the bottom of them, you know, from the slides, the backslide, the moonwalk. But I mean, honestly, it's just the best thing I can really say about it is just practice and just kind of studying him the way that he studied all of the greats that he pulled from. And then with this role, it kind of enables me to bring a little bit of myself, because in a way, like I said, I'm honoring him, I'm honoring his legacy. And with that, I think a part of my personality kind of shines through as I'm playing MJ, you know? But yeah, authenticity is the biggest thing for me with this role. Growing up, my grandfather would play Beat It, Thriller, and You Rock My World, and I would dance for my family in the living room, and he was my DJ, so I would always cue him to play the music. It's something that I don't take lightly at all. Playing him has been and will be one of the greatest honors of my life and career. You know, I mean, it's Michael Jackson. You know, it doesn't get any better than that.
What are some takeaways that you hope that they really pay attention to and go home and maybe think about, carry with them from the show as a token of that night? Totally.
I would say, for one, we all know MJ to some degree, but I would hope for one that they go home knowing more about the human being behind the icon that he was, the love and the joy that he wanted to spread to the world. I hope that they take that with them. The fun of this show. We have, aside from the moves, the music, and the brilliant book and story that was crafted by Lynn Nottage, we have a beautiful light and sound system. So I hope that they just go home with that in there, you know, feeling the music in their chest and everything. But honestly, just the joy and the fun of who MJ was and the legacy that he left behind, and how something so special and so unique and iconic can never die and will always live on, you know? So I hope they just take all of that with them, but really just loving the show, you know, having fun.
Enjoy MJ the Musical at the Altria Theater January 28th through February 2nd. We'll see you right after the break.
For staying with us through the break. It was time for a wardrobe change as we get ready for a shucking good time. Of course, Shucked is the Tony Award-winning corn-fed American musical. We know farmers shuck corn, and we wanted an opportunity to wear some overalls to go along with it. Check out Evan Armour's interview with one of the stars of the show.
Variety calls it the surprise delight of the season, and the New York Post calls it the best and funniest new musical on Broadway. Original musical comedy Shucked is coming to Richmond October 29th through November 3rd, and you have a chance to see it at the Altria Theater. Joining us now to share more on what we can expect at the show is one of the stars of the show, Danielle Wade, who plays Maisie. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we are excited to talk about this, excited to have you in Richmond soon. Tell us just a little bit about this awesome, fun new show and the character that you're going to play.
Absolutely. So Shucked is essentially about a tiny little town called Cobb County, and they've never left. Apparently someone had to get there for them to create the town, but they've never left. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, they start experiencing some trouble with their corn. And a brave girl, Maisie, the girl that I'm very fortunate to get to playing, heads out of the city and heads to the big city to try and get help and bring some help back, and then chaos and hilarity ensue.
Yeah, you said hilarity. Hilarious is a word that I keep seeing over and over again. What do you hope the experience is like for the audience, especially the folks in Richmond who come out to see you?
I hope that they leave with their stomachs hurting because they've laughed so hard. Or maybe there's a spit take in the audience. I would really love a spit take if someone's just sprayed their drink across the person in front of me. I saw the show in New York about 5 times. And if that is any indication, I live here and I went and saw it 5 times. I went for my bachelorette party with all my friends. It's for everyone. It is ridiculous. The songs are so good. You will leave humming at least 3 songs. They're so painfully catchy. It's just a good time. It's so funny.
And this is a new show, so a lot of people will be seeing this for the very first time, unlike you who've been 5 times to go see it. What can we expect overall?
Overall, we can expect that everybody can find themselves within the show. I think there's a character for everyone. There's one that you can love and there's one that you can hate, and then they might switch, which is always a good time. I think that if you want to have this sounds like a really lame excuse, but if you are in for a really good time, then just come see the show. It is so fun. Don't have any expectations, and it'll knock your socks off.
I think so many of these shows are ones that we've seen for decades coming out, and people just feel like they know it. But what if you'd like to do something that's new, something that's brand new, and people are going to be seeing for the first time?
The really cool thing about creating something new and that audiences have never seen, especially bringing it to America for the first time, is you get to go city to city. And I think that's the fun part. Like, we'll be in Richmond, and that'll be so fun because that audience will be so specific to Richmond. And the jokes will land differently for them that they will in Dallas or in Schenectady. Like, it's the coolest part of bringing a new piece is every time you go to a new place, they're a new audience member and a new cast member, essentially, for the show.
Well, we're going to have you here October 29th through November 3rd. We are looking forward to it. We hope everyone watching comes out to see you. And thank you so much for making some time for us today. We're excited.
Having me, I can't wait to be there.
Come on out and enjoy Shucked live on stage October 29th through November 3rd at the Altria Theater. Tickets are on sale right now.
Of course, keeping on the shucked theme, we have something sweet to eat. Our next guest won Food Network's Ben & Jerry's Clash of the Cones, so you know her ice cream is thebomb.com.
Her name is Rabia Kamara, but she is better known as Ruby Scoops. Welcome to Virginia this morning.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you for having me.
I am so excited by what you have here. I don't know that I've ever had anything quite like it, but that's why I'm really looking forward to
so I have two different kind of corn-centric flavors. The most popular one that we make at the shop is a hot honey cornbread. So it is a cornbread steeped ice cream. It is my family's cornbread recipe. If you're watching, hi mommy, hi Amina. And we take that, steep it for a while, and then we add swirls of AR's hot honey, which is a local honey, and more cornbread chunks. It is probably my top seller or top 2 seller. And then I have the Old Bay caramel corn. It is a popcorn ice cream with a Old Bay caramel swirl, and this is my $20,000 caramel. That's how this is how I won Food Clash of the Cones, was with this flavor. So please feel free to try them. Obviously, I'm from Maryland, so it's like you can take the girl out of Maryland. You can't take the Maryland out of the girl. So here's the Old Bay. It's delicious.
Representing, right?
Yeah.
It's a fun kind of play on caramel corn because I don't think people really think of crab seasoning for caramel, but it's basically just kind of like a fun salted caramel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting. I never would have thought of that. And as I saw you putting this display together, I said, wait a minute, I don't think I've ever thought of corn and ice cream coming together. And look how beautiful it is on the table, not to mention how wonderful it must taste.
It's delicious, so please enjoy yourselves.
Where do you get your ideas for these types of ice creams?
They just kind of come up in my head a lot of the time, and I write them down and hope that they work. And I'd say 80% of the time they do, 20% of the time it's going back to the drawing board.
So there's a bit of taste testing, quality control within the process.
Yeah, there's some research and development, and also sometimes it's just stuff I really want to eat. Like I really wanted to eat an Old Bay caramel corn ice cream, so I made it.
And how does your family feel having their family recipe there?
My sister is super happy.
Yeah?
She loves it. She's always like, it's my cornbread. I'm like, it is your cornbread. I'm telling everyone. We'll shout it from the rooftops.
And it's so special to have a bit of your family history in the business that you run, but also being able to showcase it in such a national, maybe international way. Tell us about your experience on Clash of the Cones.
So Clash of the Cones was very fun. We were in Vermont for about a month. It was me and 5 other ice cream makers. It was a 4-episode show. I won 3 of the 4 episodes, including the last one. It was really fun. I'm still friends with everybody from the competition. One of my competitors actually gave me her ice cream truck. So we're very close. Yeah, we're very close. And it was really fun. It was nice to be able to see how we all made different flavors with the same ingredients and how everyone's brain worked differently. And it was cool to be at Ben & Jerry's factory.
Are you seeing fans of the show coming to Richmond to taste your delicacies?
Very much so. Yeah. Sometimes it's the show. We also were featured in Southern Living this summer, so that's also helped. And then we won Best Ice Cream in the City from the Richmond Times-Dispatch ice cream bracket. Okay. So all of those things definitely help.
Yes, they do.
Now we've got 2 flavors here, but you have many, many on your menu.
Yes, so at the shop at the moment, we always have 12 flavors. We are moving to a new location sometime next month. You heard it here first, so y'all can stop asking me when I'm moving. It's soon. And so we're gonna expand the menu and offer some more items and probably some more ice cream as well. But we always have 12. We always have the hot honey cornbread. Old Bay caramel corn is on right now as well.
And I see this says passion fruit. What's that about?
It's just a lid I brought so y'all can see how pretty this was.
Fantastic. All right, well, I don't think I can wait any longer.
Please enjoy.
I'm gonna have to, which one is which? One more time.
So this is the cornbread. I put a little cornbread crumble on top for you, and then next to it is the Old Bay caramel corn.
All right,
if you're feeling froggy, there is also Old Bay.
Okay, here we go. Here's a nice spoon here. Oh, man.
This is delicious.
That's the caramel corn.
Oh, my goodness.
It's good.
It is.
It is good.
It's not just good, it's delicious.
Well, and the flavors, it's salty and it's sweet just a little bit. It gives you, popcorn is my favorite snack, so
popcorn.
This gives you the perfect bit. And then the cornbread on top of it. A little texture, a little more sweetness.
Just a little.
A lovely cornbread recipe.
Like birthday cake and ice cream when it has that beautiful marriage where the little crumbles of the cake.
Yeah.
Ice cream starts to melt a little.
And the nice thing about this one is because it has the hot honey, it kind of builds in a spice level. Not like it's intolerable, but the more you eat it, the more you're like, oh, there's something different in here, and that's the hot honey.
I like it. It kind of it touches you when you least expect it.
That is very true.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it in.
But of
Thank you for teaching
course.
us how to be shucked. We can't wait for the show, and certainly can't wait for more ice cream.
We're a little bit corny today.
That's right. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh my goodness, we had such a great show today. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
And thank you to all of our guests, Rabia Kamara, Executive Chef Brian Brown, Poppy LaFay, Jory Tingerlily, and actors Danielle Wade, Grant Reynolds, and Jamal Fields Green, Cindy Creasy, and Broadway in Richmond.
Our live midweek edition of Virginia This Morning is coming up tomorrow. We definitely look forward to bringing some more fun to Central Virginia and beyond.
That's right. If you miss a day, you miss a lot around here. So we'll see you back tomorrow. The show starts at 8:56 a.m. and we're going to take one more stroll down the red carpet. In the meantime, enjoy your terrific Tuesday.